This is our Exbury mini greenhouse. It's the 6'5" long version, which is the longest one that we do. And this Exbury model is completely freestanding, so you can guest it from the front and also from the back. So it's designed to stand where you can get at it from the front and the back. Completely freestanding, designed to screw down to the ground, bolt down to concrete if you've got a very windy location. If it's fairly sheltered where you are, then it will freestand. We do include a fixing kit if you are in any doubts. The framework itself is architectural aluminium. That's got a 25-year guarantee on it, and then this one has got an optional powder coating on it. So this one's got a Cotswold green finish, which makes it look very nice, and if you can see it from the house, it helps blend into the garden. The glazing on the mini greenhouse is all 4mm toughened safety glass. So you've got these large sliding planes of glass which allow you easy access and also very good ventilation in the hot summer months. Now we're actually filming in November at the moment, and the weather is sunny, but it's not particularly warm. But the beauty of the toughened safety glass is that the glass traps the heat. So when the sun's on it, like it is now, then if it's all closed up, the heat in there will rise. In fact, I've just had a look at the thermometer in one of my display models, and that is registering 26 degrees Celsius. So in November, with the sun on it, 26 degrees Celsius, then things are growing in there. And the beauty of the glass is because it keeps the frame warmer than, say, a plastic sheet of glass, then you'll get a much longer growing season at the end of this year and also at the beginning of the growing season as well. The toughened safety glass also has the advantage that it is very rigid and also heavy, so it keeps the greenhouse down on the ground when it's windy, but it does mean that if you've got snow, you can have 2 or 3 feet of snow up on the roof without any problems at all, because the panel won't flex and fall in like a perspex panel will. It is toughened glass though, so it is very strong. In fact, when we're at exhibitions, we take a cricket ball with us just to show how strong the glass is. And I think you'll agree, that is pretty tough. It isn't unbreakable, but it is very strong. If it does break, it goes like a car window into lots of tiny little pieces. Because you've got these sliding doors, it's very easy to adjust the ventilation very precisely. So early in the year, you can have the glass just open an inch or two, just let a trickle of air move through, stop you getting disease problems, stop you getting too much damp in there. And then in the summertime when it's hot, the doors can be wide open. And you can do that front and back. The glass panels at the back slide as well. And in addition to that, on a hot summer's day, you can also slide the roof panel as well. So when we look inside the mini greenhouse, what we've tried to do is make the most of the available space in there. So we've got adjustable seed tray shelves, and we've also got a centre staging here. Now if you look closely, you can see at the back there's a whole series of holes for the seed tray shelf, so you can change the height of the shelf depending on what you've got growing on it. We use these slim aluminium rods, which means that if you haven't got anything there, we're still letting light down to the lower levels, so we're not compromising the growing at the bottom of the grow house. You can see down at the bottom, I've got 2 of the shelves just down at the very bottom actually drop flat against the back. So you can do that if you want a little bit more depth available. So maybe in the springtime you'll have all those shelves up, but then in the summertime you'll drop them down when you've got taller things in there. Or if we're overwintering, then we can put bigger things in with the shelves down. You can take the shelf out if you want to, but it's often easier just to store it in the hanging down position. The other thing that we've got in here is this glass central staging. Again, it's toughened. Again, it's 4mm thick, so it's very strong. We rate each pane of glass in the middle staging at 50 kilos, which is far more than you're ever going to need for the plants on there. Again, it's letting the light down to the lower levels. If you don't want to use the middle staging, or maybe you've got something taller that you want to put in, then you can easily lift each of the panes of glass out, and they will stack either on top of each other or you can store it somewhere else. So we're trying to make the space inside the grow house as flexible as possible. All the shelves up in the springtime for your early planting and your seedlings. Summertime, perhaps all the shelves drop flat and the middle staging out because you've got chilies and peppers. In the autumn time, perhaps we're doing autumn planting, perhaps we're doing overwintering, and the shelves will go back in again. Another unique feature of the grow house is the watering system that we've got in here. So we've got a little nozzle there and a little nozzle just here, and that's repeated down below the middle staging, and that's connected up with pipe work back to this fitting here. So that accepts a standard hose lock or Gardena type snap connector. You put the hose on there, turn the tap on for probably only 2 or 3 minutes, and then everything inside is watering. So it's very, very effective, and also because the spray is so fine, seedlings aren't damaged. The other thing that we've got as an option in here is the louver vent. Now the louver vent has got an automatic opener, so that will open and close depending on the temperature. It's filled with the plant oil, and the plant oil expands as it warms up. So it's a very simple mechanism. You don't need any electricity or sophisticated sensors, but it just works when the temperature rises. And that's really useful. If it's sunny early in the morning, like it is in May and June time, then perhaps at 5 o'clock, the temperature inside will be rising, and then the vent will open up and ventilate the frame. You can put a vent in both ends if you want to with this one, but to be honest, normally once you get to the summertime, then you would just use extra ventilation by sliding the panels of glass and have that in addition to the louver ventilation. So the Exbury is designed for the keen gardener who's keen on growing but perhaps hasn't got enough room in their garden for a full-sized greenhouse. But with all the shelving in here and with all the middle staging, we feel that you can get almost as much in here as you can in a full-sized greenhouse.